Well, good morning and welcome to the Fulcrum Group's monthly webinar series, 5 for Improving Email Security. I'm Davis, President of Sales and Marketing for the Fulcrum Group. This morning, 5 key steps you can take to your organization's email security. This webinar is muted, so please via chat and we will answer them at the end of the presentation. Today's following topics. We will spend time discussing the history of email, about how email works, give you a full understanding of that. And we'll also understand the critical security risks in email, and then the best options for reducing spam, viruses, and other malware in email. And then do's and don'ts of sending sensitive information via email. And we'll talk about the Fulcrum Group's cloud email security solutions, and then go through a Q&A for any questions that pop up. Started. Older than network, ARPANET, or even the internet. It wasn't invented, involved from simple beginnings. Early advanced on what these days we know as a file directory. A user in another user's directory in a spot where they could see it when they logged in. Simple as that. Just doing a note on someone's desk. So this era might have had up to 100 users. Often we use what they called dumb terminals to access the mainframe from their work desk. Before it began, they were only being used to send messages to various users of the same computer. Once talk to each other over networks, however, the problem is a little more complex. We be able to put a message in an envelope and address it. To this, we need to indicate whom letters should go to that the electronic messaging system understood. Just the system, we needed a way to indicate an address. This Tomlin is credited with inventing in 1972. Inventors, Tomlinson worked for an ARPANET contractor. He picked the @ symbol for the keyboard to denote sending messages from one computer to another. So using internet standards, it was simply a matter of nominating at name of the computer. This functions on the internet from websites to social media to systems. Email remains the most important application of the internet and most widely used. Now, 2 billion people worldwide email. As to evolve on ARPANET, the purpose of ARPANET became email. The 80s brought personal computers and local area networks to the front. Land mail systems such as C-Mail and Lotus Notes were introduced. However, these systems were proprietary and could send email from one system to another. When the 90s rolled around, the Internet and the World Wide Web were invented, and Internet-based email systems from Ps such as CompuServe and AOL caused email with consumers. It wasn't too long after that the land-based email systems got into the act as well, as interways were added to Lotus Notes and Microsoft Mail, which eventually became Microsoft Exchange. It allowed end users to send email outside their organization using the internet. Due to the internet email, it wasn't long before marketers figured out that sending out mass email was a method to reach tens of thousands of consumers at a very low cost. The word was invented to describe unsolicited email and was Oxford Dictionary in 1998. Now, how email works. The sender is an employee using their company account to send an email to someone at a different company. As you can diagram, that very simply, they just send an email and it automatically appears in a receipt box at the other end. But it's much more complex. Instead, it creates and sends an email. It creates an email in their mail user agent, client, and send. Mail is the application originating sender uses to read email such as and the send MTA route. So look, email client sends the email over to the message delivery agent and also handles the responsibilities of an MDA. The MDA accepts the email and then the two local mailboxes if it's email, or if it isn't a locally addressed email. In our diagram, an MDA first to an MTA is the first of a series of network clouds labeled network cloud. You encounter a network cloud within the largest network cloud in existence, the Internet. It encompasses a multitude of mail servers, DNS servers, routers, and other devices. These are detected by firewall, spam filters, and malware detection software that may bounce or even delete an email. This kind of software, it is to fall or fill silently, or what we do as a black hole. So there's no information about when the delete either or was successful. Instead, the email queue, the diagram is addressed to someone at another company, so it enters an email queue with outgoing messages. If there is a mail in the queue, the message stays in the queue until the MTA processes the messages ahead of it. We refer to as the MTA to MTA transfer. Now, the sending MTA handles all aspects of mail delivery until the message has either been accepted or rejected by the receiving MTA. As the clear queue, it enters the Internet network cloud routed along a host-to-host chain of servers. Internet network needs NAS directions from the domain name servers in order to identify the next MTA in the delivery chain. Step F, firewall, spam, and virus filters. This is and it may be somewhat sad, but basically an email to pass between at least one firewall before it reaches its destination. To see if the message qualifies as spam, malware, or appropriate content. If the malware, the file is usually quarantined and is notified. If it's identified as obvious spam, it will probably be deleted without notifying the sender. And the hazards of the spam filtering is accepted for delivery by the receiver's MTA. The MTA and the MDA delivers to the correct mailbox until it is retrieved by the recipient's look. About email is that it's constructed similar to postal mail by design because it was modeled after. A message in an envelope, an email is like a letter you'd send through the postal service. There is an analogous to the of a hard copy letter. The same is not ordinarily present on a hard copy envelope as contained in the message header instead of header. This contains information is not usually found on a real-world envelope, but is email delivery and troubleshooting. The envelope is usually hidden when you view an email, and there is visual. Together, headers are called the full header. Talk about the critical security in email. The use of email was really a messaging system than the way we think of email today. Environment, the phones, the most important communication medium for business. The idea hasn't changed that much, and it really isn't designed to send information, private or important or proprietary, such as personal health information, reliable information, or other information like credit card numbers. For a lot of users, including myself, is the shooting of email. From legitimate users plus legitimate newsletters is a deal with already. But when you solicited commercial email, also known as spam, it made email volume even more difficult. A million mass emails is minuscule, and if a small percentage of recipients click on an advertisement and buy, then it can make good money. And the lost time spent managing and deleting spam has been made as high as $50 billion per year. Malware. Recently, hackers are taking advantage of email to deliver a variety of attacks to organizations through the use of malware or malicious software. That thing from viruses, worms, Trojan horses, and spyware. These successful may give the malicious entity control over workstations and which can be then exploited to change privileges, gain access to sensitive information, activities, and perform other malicious actions. It refers to the use of deceptive computers to trick individuals into responding to the email and disclosing information. Systems are often used to deliver spam messages and conduct phishing attacks using a email address. The link attacks typically go to similar-looking websites and you enter information such as your username and password, account number, or social security number. Phishing of social engineering. Engineering includes variations related to spoofing as an administrator. I need to verify your username and password. The VIP. Hey Joe, are you busy? I transferred today. Are sent from lookalike domains that might be one or two characters off of the legitimate domain. This has already resulted in billions lost over the last 3 years. does when users intentionally or unintentionally send proprietary company information or information such as personal health information or personally identifiable information, or embarrass the company, cause customers or revenue, or expose the company to legal action. Choosing the email system is especially advantageous because it removes threats before your email server and reduces the email volume that has to flow through your internet connection and mail server. Remove obvious spam, deleting it, and not providing an NDR response. One of your email address lists is by sending a directory harvest attack, which is a root method of attaining email addresses. Good solutions recognize and block these attacks. So quarantine, and the user can release email if it is legitimate. This newsletters or other mass email that you may have signed up for, or other email that inadvertently has spammy qualities. Content filtering rules for both in and outbound email. Inbound can be used to create block specific content, and outbound rules created to prevent data leakage, such as rules to prevent credit card numbers from being held out. Feature of cloud system email filtering systems is email continuity. This allows end users to send and receive email via their email filtering core online portal. Email server is down. Sending information by email. Standard email is not encrypted or secure. You want sending sensitive information over email when you can, and if you send sensitive information, you can or secure send when it is necessary to send sensitive information via email. And here are examples of what is sensitive information. So any kind of personal or financial information, social security numbers, credit card numbers, bank account information, your passport or driver's license number, documents, communicating with your CPA, don't send them your W-2 via email. They should issue your completed tax returns via email and forms. Protected information helps identify who you are. Shouldn't be sent via email. Standard email. Never send usernames and passwords via email. And then it's sensitive company information, so customer or any other proprietary information. The Fulcrum provides cloud email security solutions through their Spot Cloud email security service, and their cloud vendor Edgewave. The best includes inbound and outbound email filtering, again, phishing attacks, viruses, and other malware. Email continuity, where you can see even if your mail server is down. And all data loss prevention tools that implement, if you like, which protects against the loss of sensitive data. And also included in the cloud email security service. We also have some security security add-ons. Our two are send email encryption, which send and use either policies or a plugin. So if you send encrypt, now this is a very simple way to do that. of course, compliant email archiving. All incoming and outgoing email is contained in an unalterable state, and it meets compliance and regulatory requirements. Set $4 per named user for secure send email encryption, and $5 mailbox for compliant email archiving. About the secure send, is that, actually for both of these, is that if you have 50 mailboxes and you only need secure send for 10 users, you can send for those 10 users, and it's for compliant email archiving. You can choose which email users or boxes that you want to do that for. So, that in the presentation. Any questions that we've got them? Go ahead and type up and send them on over right quick. I don't see questions in the chat at this point. Or two, and see if there's any questions that come up. All right, have any questions popping up? So we're going to go ahead and the webinar. Thanks for everyone for attending, and make it a great week.